Hey, yo, what's up? You know what it is. It's the one and the only Professor L live in the LAB live on Team G.O.D TV. And I'd like to welcome all of you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speak. So come on, get up in here, dog. We got class. Y'all need to get in, and y'all know the drill. And if you don't, let me remind you, get them lab coats. Make sure they nice and spiffy. Make sure you nice and sterile, because I don't want you messing with any of the experiments. And please don't touch them you can't replace. Get your asses in these seats, because, yo, we got something on the board for you. Today's lesson, Uchu Sentai Kyuranger, Space.36, the legend that sleeps in Lucky's homeworld. How about I end the video right now? You want to know the answer to the question? A toy. A toy. We could talk about this episode, and we probably will, but the answer to your question is a toy. A toy that attaches to another toy that gives it the distinct look of being a toy, but the same toy with something else. It's a toy. I could, give you serious analysis about this episode. The answer is we need to put over a toy. To skip to the end of the episode, I will admit, they did a good job putting over the toy. That's what you have to do. It's like if the plan was to put over Super Q Reno and the Kojishi joint, it did it. Sat up here, I'm like, I'll be for real. I'm like, if we're going to have some honest analysis that doesn't end with the word toy in every sentence, let's actually look at the episode as a whole, right? It's like, I understood and knew a couple of things that were heavily implied but unsaid until this very moment. I remember a long time ago, some dude rode up to Lucky Mama house and threw a couple of Molotov cocktails and burnt their house down. Lucky was a little kid. We meet Lucky when he's an adult. It's that this episode fill in that missing time, and what we now know is that Lucky is the prince of his hood, but that we already knew. Is that his daddy's alive, but he's subjugated to them boys' dark matter, and that man Don Armage, the pimp, because it's probably some Don Armage on his shoulder, like, yo, put in that work for me, homie, you know what it is, fam. And it's kind of like, well, okay, that also makes sense, but then you have to sit up here and wonder and question, why does it make sense? Let's think about this from a tactical perspective, because it's the only way I can really come at that fact as a tactical advantage. Is that because of the time travel stuff, there are things that them boys dark matter that they know. One thing that would be easy to do would be to try to make an attempt to make sure Lucky never fulfills his destiny to become a Kyuranger by, killing him, subjugating his family, and making them your bitch. That would be a tactical advantage. If you knew this information before the jump, you would know. Subjugate Lucky's family, make them kiss the ring, and then he never becomes a Kyuranger. But you threw Molotov cocktails at his mama house and you failed to kill him. He became a Kyuranger, and now he has more superpower than a superpower on Tuesday. We talking about the same dude who sat up here and turned to 200 himself and shot a dude with 200 laser beams. And it's just kind of like, whoa. And I'm not saying it like that, but yo, we have been through 36 episodes of this show, and I'm sitting up here from a tactical element, trying to sit up here and understand, why would you subjugate Lucky's family? If he never went back, but it's like, you have to sit up here and wonder, how does time travel work in Kyuranger for real? Does going back in time affect what people do in the future by stuff you did in the past? Because that's the only legitimate tactical reason I can think of that them dark matter boys would care about something so specifically. But it's like they done took over everything. So it may just be some general, is that, yo, we took over your hood, now we finna make you hold these L's beginning, middle, and end. I'm like, think about it this way. Because see, again, I'm like, this is just one of those things where I had a thought coming into this episode, and now I'm trying to sit up here and I'm trying to suss and work it out here. Because again, I am trying to think of this on a tactical level. I'm not thinking about this plot-wise, because plot-wise it makes sense. Subjugate the hero's homeworld, force him to save it. That's easy. The hard part is trying to figure out, from a non-plot perspective, from a non-who's writing this show perspective, from a tactical perspective, thinking about tactics in general in wartime. And what you have is that, again, with the information that you have, that Lucky is a threat, you kill him before he becomes a threat to you. You fail to kill him, he still becomes this threat, but you subjugate his daddy and no one knows where mommy is. Again, it's like, that's the only thing I can think of tactics-wise about it being there. And now that we know that we got these things in play, especially what we learned in that last episode with Hoshi Minato, is it's little devil, little mini dark matter, them boys, aka Don Omega, that nigga bra, sitting up here telling you, yo, do bad stuff. And speaking of Hoshi Minato, is that this the beginning of the end. Because see, your pop star say, yo, let's stand up to dark matter. I'm like, yo, we've been running around for 35 episodes telling you stand up to dark matter, but when a pop star tell you to do it, oh, we down now, and it's just kind of like, are you serious? But, and for real, I can understand that, Hoshi Minato doing what he do, sitting up here inspiring the people with his songs and stuff, like, yo, we can stand up to dark matter too and get murdered. Please, dark matter, the boys, please don't kill us. Don Amage, he is coming to subjugate your planet and universe. You thought you could get away from me, but you were dead wrong. And now dark matter, them boys about to run up your hood and take your shit. Or something like that. That was off the dome. We working on that. That's something we're workshopping. So we'll get at you. The rest of this episode is that we get some Lucky backstory. That, again, like I said at the beginning, that fills in the blanks of how you get from dark matter and boys throwing the Molotov cocktails in your mama house to you flying on and then you becoming Shishiredo. That we get that he like, yo, I want to sit up here, I want to find the edge of the universe. You trying to find your daddy. And then you realize the answer to your daddy was he was next door. And it's like, damn. I'm like, that's cold-blooded. I'm like, yo, you sit up here and you go on this goose chase to try to find your daddy. It's like, are you mad? It's like, have you ever read the book, Are You My Daddy? You got that little chicken asking a dog like, you my daddy? Nah, your daddy next door. Oops. And it's just kind of like, man, that's kind of messed up. And actually, that's Are You My Mother? Are You My Daddy? It's not a book. Are You My Daddy usually ends in court costs and child support fees or whatever. But it is what it is. Regardless, look. The rest of this episode, like I say, again, it's like let's just put a book on this Lucky thing because, again, I would, if I was lucky, keep that under wraps up about my real reasoning for rolling around in the universe. But then sitting up here realizing that you roll way past your daddy in the first place. You find out you the king of the. What is that playing? You the king of the lines, like you T.I. or something, you know what I'm saying? Like you Lionheart on, man, you know what? I can't even, cause see, I was about to, it was like, you know what? I'm Googling this. We having a Google moment. I'm trying to stall for time. I think, I'm trying to think what the name of that show was because I remember that it was this show, I think it was called The Lionhearts, where it was the lion that was in the MGM logo and he had a family, dog. Yep, that's what it is, yup. Leo Lionheart, sure was. See, I'm remembering stuff. I remember that, dog. I swear to God. That's something. So, let me see. The character first appeared on a sing-along show. Okay. I'm going to have to look this up on my own time, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Alright, so we got that. So they only had 13 episodes. So I'm glad that we could, you know what I'm saying, get into this, you know what I'm saying? It was on Hulu at some point. I'm kind of glad I missed that. Not glad that I missed it. You know what I mean. Look. Okay, I was stalling for time. I was stalling for time because that joke came to me, and I want to try to run it. But still, like I said, the rest of this episode for real was learn the truth about yourself. That leads into toy power up, and then people get merged. I will say, and you know what? I'm gonna say this live. I love the monster of the day for real. Woonjet, that dude was a beast. I'm like, he said up here like he like super crane dog. Like that's all I could think of is he super crane. He like, yo, he super crane except his head ain't in nobody. He controlling it with his tentacles, dog. That was kind of dope. Said up here like, yo, a rat that can't fly is just a rat. I'm just like, man, this dude is a goon, but he still got murked. He sat up here, Lucky tried to run up on him with the regular power. Nope, son, no. What's up? Time to get right. And that's exactly what happened. That work got put in, and then little lion run over there. He cough up a hairball like, whoa. Like, oh no, this hairball is a Q-timer. And I turn big, and then I put in work, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna quit clowning. Look, there was one other important thing that happened in this episode that I do want to talk about. Is what the rest of the squad was doing back on my Uncle 2.0, right? They sitting up here, yo, they trying to get the Dark Matter house and knock on the door. He's like, don't be alarmed, we're Kyurangers. Man, you got too many bass. You got too much bass in your voice. We was wondering if we could borrow some brown sugar. Like, what the fuck? Oh, man, I don't remember the last time I watched Bad Boys. You know what I'm doing? I'm watching Bad Boys 1. That is one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema. Like, Will and Martin walk in that house. Don't be alarmed. We're your new neighbors. Man, you got too much bass in your voice. We were wondering if we could borrow some brown sugar. Oh my God, dude. I'm like, yo, one of the funniest scenes in all of cinema. Don't be alarmed, we're your new neighbor. Man, you got too much bass in your voice. We were wondering if we could borrow some brown sugar. And that's what they did. They tried to go to Dark Matter house, dog. Like, yo, let's get in. Like, yo, we got a barrier around the hood, dog. It's kind of like those motion detector lights, except it's really big and you can't get in. So they tried to get in, like, yo, they got scared off. And you got what my name is, Birdman. Like, yo, balance. Yo, I need you to put in this work. And let me tell you exactly what's finna happen. They finna do something to that shrink you down Q-timer. We calling that the Rick Miranda Q-timer. That's what we calling that now. Just like on the other show is Japanese Big Worm. We got the Rick Miranda Q-timer over here. Like, yo, you gonna shrink us and we gonna slide through their defenses, then get real big and start putting that work in. I guarantee you. With this information in hand about where this show is going immediately, I have to ask the same question I've been asking for a month now. When is the Cluster Zord coming, bruh? Because see, now you thought they was done with these Zords, homie. Nope. You thought they was done. But I do have to wonder, and this is the question. Will the Kojishi Voyager be able to do that to, like, the other stuff? Like, will it be able to combine with Shenron Perp Zord and become some Lion Dragon Zord or something like that? Is it gonna combine with Birdman Zord and it's finna become Ho-Oh Taiko the Phoenix, Ryu Koranbu or something? I don't know. Will it combine with my Uncle 2.0 and turn into some super lion laser? I have no idea. I don't know. I want to know. I'd appreciate an answer. An answer would be nice. Believe you me. What it is with that. You do what it is that you can with what you have to work with. So, in this week in Cluster Zord, you know what I'm saying, I had to stop before I said get back on the MIC. Will this Zord combine with other Zords to become Zord, and will it become the Cluster Zord? You have to wonder. Now, at this point, we'd normally be done. I normally call this and let you go to recess. But there's one more thing. One more thing. The end of the episode. Well, number one, Kyuranger's back because I don't know. And number two, Professor Anton's in the building. So, at least we know where he at. Cooking up work for Dark Matter them boys. Hold up. Dark Matter them boys. Hold up. Dark Matter them boys. Cooking this work. Stir. Cook. Work. Put it in. Put the work in. Do it. Put the work in. Business is business. Do what you can. I'm like, streets to call this for weeks, first of all. Like, yo, and Dr. Anton on or something. But it's like you just really have to wonder, like, are they really going to get to the backstory before the end game? Or is the backstory to why he's done all this and why all this has happened, when is it going to matter? Well, it's given that he knows the Kyuranger's every move, it's mattering right now. They let Champ back in too quick. They didn't let the boy Balance scan him or anything. Like, yo, he got something strange in him, got a bomb or something he can set off. No, you got Professor Anton watching this fool every move. And it's like, until they get to a point and understanding that, you know, it's like Moo Moo Man ain't the traitor, but he was rebuilt for this purpose, for them to know the Kyuranger's every move. It's like, Dark Matter them boys, there's only so much things they can stop the Kyurangers from doing, when only thing you got is eyes through Champ. There's only so much you can do with that. But you've also really got to wonder when the next time this fool gonna go berserk. Because there's been a couple episodes since they let Garu in the Aibo squad and he ain't went berserk yet. And they was all on the planet at the same time. You'd have think that'd have been a nice little chance for him to go berserk real quick. For them to come up like, no, he cool. Nothing. So do he go berserk when he feel like? Is the show just gonna forget this magical plot point until it feels like, you know, bringing it back up again? I have no idea. Zero clue. None at all. But if you're going to introduce a plot element like that, knowing that Dr. Anton is in the wings like this, you would really think that this would have been a good episode to like have some third thing going on. Because again, this was push toy. You try to knock on Dark Matter's door and ask for brown sugar and ain't no one home. Or you ain't getting in because the searchlight just went on and it's like 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. But look, I am trying to sit up here literally before we get up out of here, before I dismiss class, is this really going to be a thing? Is the plot going to forget that we have someone in the midst who's sitting up here is technically a spy without even knowing they a spy because they being rebuilt by the person who originally built them? Which also makes you wonder, this was Champ that the whole time? Was because we know Dr. Anton's alive. So did Uncle Jesse really kill him? I'm like, it's just too many questions surrounding Dr. Anton to really get into right now and delve into a way that I want to get into it. But I don't want to do that right now because I want to give the show a couple of episodes to see if it'll answer the question, so I don't have to get on her every week speculating. And it's like, I love the speculation. I love doing that. But at the same time, I don't want to give the show the opportunity not to tell the story that it wants to tell. It's like, it happens. Sometimes plot development gets left on the table and it gets forgotten about and it gets closed in really quick. I'm like, we didn't watch enough Sentai and enough Kamen Rider and even Ultraman to a degree and all tokus and all dramas and anything that you've ever watched. Sometimes something just get lost in the plot line and we just can't get back to it. I don't really think this Champ thing is the thing you really want to forget about. That's something they need to start doing and start doing ASAP before they find Anton, before they can sit up here and find out what's really wrong with Champ. So I'm hoping that's something they're going to do, and I'm going to try to refrain from trying to get too deep in that. I'm going to at least give it to Space 40 to see if they really doing something with this champ being a spy or whatever without him knowing he being a spy, and how long can the Ibo squad keep this secret before it matters that they got to tell the rest of the crew. I think that'll be that. We bought some brown sugar. We put over some toys. We talked about Lucky is the king of the space now or something like that, like T.I. or something. I'm not really sure. We talked about Professor Anton a little bit. There were no ships in this episode, so there were no ships. How about y'all gonna do this? How about y'all hit recess? You know what I'm saying? Build is up. I got one episode trying to catch up on KOF, and I got the other episode I'm gonna be hitting later, and I got some other work coming, so just be watching the YouTubes as TNGRF TV continues to put in that work. How about that? So, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna let y'all go to recess. Lab coats in the cubby hole. Make sure you sterilize yourself on the way out. Make sure you don't touch nothing you can't break, because it's important, because we do experiments in the lab. You know what it is. The one and the only Professor L, live in the LAB, live on Team GRF TV. And I'd like to thank you for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And please always remember, Super See the Shade!